How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Deciduous Bonsai channel. I'm your host, Andrew Robson, a bonsai professional in Portland, Oregon. We're here at RAKUYO. We specialize in creating and maintaining beautiful deciduous bonsai. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about 3 things that you definitely should do and 3 things that you definitely should not do with recently repotted bonsai. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. We just finished our repotting season here at RAKUYO Bonsai. I'm here in my greenhouse where most of the repotted bonsai kind of hang out for several weeks after they get repotted to just kind of reacclimate into their new pots, to fill those pots with roots and stay in a little bit of a protected space while they do that. And I wanted to just share 3 things that you should not do with recently repotted trees, and then talk about 3 things that you definitely should do with recently repotted trees that you can use to kind of maximize your bonsai practice to give your repotted bonsai the best chance for recovery and the best health to get them jump started throughout the bonsai year. So, 3 things you should definitely not do with deciduous bonsai, or really just any bonsai after repotting. Do not let your bonsai get exposed to freeze or frost. So this is one of the biggest things that you can do to protect a recently repotted tree. Once something's been repotted, once roots have been pruned back, once your trees have woken up from dormancy, you definitely want to avoid them getting any sort of freeze, because those new roots are really tender and they are at their most vulnerable and fragile state, and you can really harm them if they get exposed to cold. So definitely no freezing and no frost for recently repotted bonsai. Now, it's important to note that while freezing will definitely only happen at 32 degrees, you can actually get frost at, kind of mid 30s. And so, if you see 35, 36 degrees in your forecast with a recently repotted bonsai, you might want to consider protecting your trees, even if your temperature is several degrees above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You do want to make sure that you don't let them get a frost as well, because that can also be damaging to the roots and especially damaging to the buds that have emerged as the plants start growing. And just to review, we repot deciduous bonsai as those buds are opening and pushing. So if those new buds, those new leaves get exposed to frost, that can be really catastrophic to your spring growth. So definitely do not let your trees freeze or frost post repot. That's one of the biggest things you can do to protect your repotted bonsai. Number 2, kind of going along with that a little bit, is protect your repotted bonsai from wind. Um, Repotted bonsai are, like I said, the new tender root tips are at their most vulnerable state when we prune the roots back and they just start growing with fresh root tips. And so you want to keep those root tips out of the wind. Wind is entirely, just like freezing and frost, wind is very catastrophic to harming new root tips. So keeping your trees away from the wind. If you have a greenhouse like this, that can be a great way to protect things. But if you don't have a greenhouse, on windy days, having them in a unheated garage, or keeping them in a courtyard or against a fence, or just some way to keep the wind off of your repotted trees, that will drastically help improve your success with repotting bonsai. So don't let them get exposed to wind, just like we do not let them get exposed to freeze and frost. And finally, the last of our do not do for repotted bonsai is do not overwater your repotted bonsai. Um, in the summertime with bonsai, we can be a little bit more liberal with our watering. We can be a little bit more carefree. But in the spring, with repotted bonsai especially, we want to make sure that the plants that we've repotted are actually drying out, and that they're not just staying in huge bowls of water. And so you want to monitor your repotted bonsai and make sure that the roots are actually drying out in that root mass that we put back into the pot. you want to make sure that root mass is actually drying out fairly well before you go and water it again. So doing a lot more spot watering where you don't just water everything all at the same time, but you water selectively for only the plants that need it, that's way more critical and valuable in the spring, especially with recently repotted trees. What you're going to find is the soil mass, the core mass of fine roots that we put back into these pots, that's going to dry out much faster than the surrounding new soil that we add, which doesn't have any root tips in it. And so you'll see kind of the middle of a bonsai, repotted bonsai, dry out while the outer edges kind of stay wet. And once that middle starts to dry out, we let it dry out just a little bit, but then we hydrate it again. You really want those roots to be encouraged to go into the new soil and search for moisture. And if we're keeping repotted bonsai just constantly hydrated and we don't let them dry out a little bit, then those new root tips will not have any they won't have any encouragement, any reason to really go into the new soil. So to really jumpstart root growth after repotting, be careful with monitoring your watering. Do not overwater recently repotted bonsai. Now, those are three things that you should not do. You shouldn't let them freeze or frost. You should not let them get exposed to wind, and you should not overwater them. But I want to give you three things that you can do to really help your recently repotted bonsai. And if you watched our previous video on this channel, you already know the first one. That's use top dressing on recently repotted bonsai. Top dressing doesn't just have aesthetic benefits. Top dressing, the aesthetic benefits are it's going to encourage moss growth, and if you want your trees to have nice lush green moss, check out our recent video where we teach you our recipe for top dressing to encourage green moss to grow. But that's not just an aesthetic reason. It has kind of really practical horticultural benefits, as we talked about in that video. Having moss on the top of your bonsai is kind of a protective barrier. It's a shield from that wind that we talked about being so devastating, even from a light frost, which we talked about also being kind of devastating. So that moss layer, that top dressing, whether it's green lush live moss or it's our top dressing that we planted to encourage that green live moss, that's going to be a little bit of a protective shield and keep your soil mass protected from wind and from freezing. It's just going to help provide that shield to block those bad things from getting in. It's not going to block them completely, so we do want to make sure that we protect for those things, but it's going to help create a protective barrier so that it minimizes the damage if we have a windy day or if it does get a little bit cold on our bonsai. The other thing that moss layer is going to do is it's going to keep our soil mass evenly hydrated. So it's not, we're not just going to have the top of our soil mass dry out and the bottom stay wet. It's going to keep everything in our pot, everything in our container, kind of equally hydrated so that the soil mass is drying out together, and with that you get fine roots growing in that whole level. So definitely do get top dressing on your recently repotted bonsai, and that's not just for recently repotted bonsai. Do have top dressing on everything in your collection. For me, I never want to see bare soil when I look at a bonsai. So do use top dressing. And to again recap, you can check out our previous video on the channel to learn how we make our top dressing. Next up, do give your trees a break after repotting. That means after you've repotted a bonsai, you need to be fairly hands-off with those trees. You do not want to be wiring a recently repotted bonsai. You do not want to be defoliating in the next, couple weeks a recently repotted bonsai. You don't want to be kind of pruning too much past. You can prune the tree, deciduous tree, the day that you repot it, but you don't want to be pruning it weeks later. Recently repotted bonsai kind of need time to recover. And so while you can do some very minor light things like pinch new growth if you have a maple that's coming out or a beech or a hornbeam, you can definitely pinch new growth on refined trees, but we really don't want to do any work besides that on recently repotted bonsai. You want to let them grow, let them recover, give the trees a break so that they can regrow a root system, get healthy, and prepare themselves for future work. So do give your trees a break after repotting. I know it's tough to want to stop working on your trees, but sometimes not doing anything on our bonsai is the best thing that we can do for them, and especially with a repotted bonsai, do give them a break. The last thing is, do use a greenhouse for repotted bonsai if you have that option, or if that's something on your horizon. A greenhouse is, I consider, an essential tool for high quality bonsai. Now, there are people in the world who have very nice bonsai who do it without a greenhouse, but they set themselves up for enormous challenges. And before I get too much down this greenhouse rabbit hole, I just want to say greenhouses don't have to be expensive. Sure, if you're going to just have someone come and build you a very fancy looking greenhouse, you might spend, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000. I built this greenhouse here at RAKUYO for $2,500. And it's a fairly large greenhouse. It's much bigger than most hobbyists would need. But you could build simple hoop houses for just a few $100s. And in my opinion, you cannot really do at any sort of scale good quality bonsai without having a greenhouse. That is if you live in a place where you have winter. If you live in Los Angeles or Florida, this is probably not relevant. But if you live in a place where there's seasons, and that season includes a proper winter with freezing temperatures, a greenhouse is an essential tool for quality bonsai. It's going to really help with several of the don'ts that we covered in the beginning of this video. It's going to help protect your trees from freeze and frost, and it's going to keep your trees out of the wind. And for repotted bonsai, a greenhouse is so critical and essential that it will dramatically up your success rate. So you don't need a huge greenhouse. The ones I would avoid are actually those little tiny ones, the ones that you get at like Costco that are like, just like a shed. You want something that's fairly large that has some airflow. So think something that's about 12 feet long, something that you can stand up in pretty well. But having a greenhouse for recently repotted trees, it gives them an environment, a really really fantastic environment for recovering post repotting. So, like I said, these things don't have to be expensive. They definitely can be expensive, but they don't have to be expensive. You can build things yourself. Like I said, simple hoop houses for a few $100s can be fantastic. If you don't have the resources to buy something big and fancy. I didn't have that when I built this garden. This is a semi-gable greenhouse from Oregon Valley Greenhouse. It's about 24 feet by 24 feet, but it's enough to just keep the trees protected post repotting, to keep them out of the wind, to keep them out of the freezing and the frosting, and to kind of give them a protected space to really let these roots grow and recover. Yes, I could have probably put all my repotted trees outside because I live in a great climate here in the Pacific Northwest, but even in the Pacific Northwest, this greenhouse is going to give these recently repotted trees a big boost and advantage. So I highly recommend, if you want to get serious about bonsai, start thinking about a greenhouse, even if you can't afford it or handle one right now. Have it on your horizon because it is an essential tool for doing bonsai at a high level. So do use a greenhouse for your recently repotted trees if that's possible. So those are 3 do's, 3 don'ts for recently repotted bonsai. I love repotting season. It's kind of always a little bit sad for it to come to an end. Here at RAKUYO, we've kind of pivoted over to pinching, so stay tuned for one of our next videos on that. Subscribe to the channel if you want to make sure you get notified about that video on your feed. We're going to probably record that later today. But yeah, we've just finished repotting season. All of our repotted bonsai are here in this greenhouse, recovering from that operation. I will leave recently repotted trees in a greenhouse for about 1 month on average if it was a basic kind of standard repot. If I felt like the tree had a very intense repot, maybe we took off a lot of roots, maybe we found or we had to kind of do something that wasn't ideal with the root system, I might leave those trees in the greenhouse for an extra month, so maybe 2 months in the greenhouse. But for the average deciduous bonsai here that we've repotted, about 3-4 weeks in the greenhouse is enough time to give them that protected environment to kind of jumpstart them and then move them out in the garden once all of our freezing and frosts have moved away from our forecast. So, uh, thanks for tuning in. You've been watching Rakuyo's Deciduous Bonsai channel. I hope these 3 do's and 3 don'ts will help you with your recently repotted bonsai at home. If you have any questions, drop those in the comment section and we will get back to you about that. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up icon. Subscribe to our channel so you can stay in touch with us about future videos. And thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone is well and hope you had a successful repotting season with your bonsai at home. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.